Let me start by saying that although this swearing in is a ceremony, your work is not ceremonious. As you'll be aware, health is one of the pillars of this administration. Under Omituntun 1.0, we work towards resolving the issue of the infrastructure deficit in our healthcare system. Well, I can say we solved that problem about 50 to 60%, perhaps. I mean, people may say that is not bad, but there's more to be done. In this environment, they may say it's not bad. If they use the marking scheme of America, if you don't score 90 and above, it's almost like a failure. So I expect that our new Commissioner for Health, Dr. Adewumi, Ajetunmobi, will take the bull by the horns. As I said during the budget stakeholders meeting last Monday, we have the money to build Category 3 primary healthcare centers in all our 351 wards. This is a reality we want to see accomplished in the shortest possible time. I've had to fight a lot of our colleagues here. I don't know if the ES primary health guy is here. He's always avoiding me these days. Well, the work we have to do, so it's there. And also, if you look at our Oyo State Roadmap for Sustainable Development, 2023 to 2027, you also see promises that we have made in there. And by the way, I expect all members of the cabinet to read that document and assimilate the promises there as the minimum we will be doing for our people. I expect that you will create a strategic document foreseeing to the fulfillment of the promises in the healthcare sector. We're trying to drive an increase in revenue through the Oyo State Health Insurance Agency, OSHA scheme. So that's something you need to sit with the Executive Secretary of OSHA, Dr. Makinde, to figure out how to get more people, to adopt the scheme. We know that once we complete renovating, staffing, and equipping these primary healthcare centers, more of our people will be inclined to visit them. So that's something that you really need to drive. I mean, I've heard from people say, okay, if you get the primary healthcare scheme right, then we have less pressure on the secondary and the tertiary healthcare institutions. And when I was growing up, once they take me to Adegoke State Hospital, I know it's a serious thing. Otherwise, you have the dispensary. You just go to the dispensary and then if I remember very well, once we start heading to Adegoke Hospital, I know there must be an injection. So we need to get back to that era, and Of course, we're also looking at upgrading our tertiary healthcare infrastructure and make them more sustainable. Dr. Ajetunmobi, I look forward, to your thoughts on this as quickly as possible. And for the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Ms. Wasilat Adegoke, Adefemi, when the PS cabinet was introducing you, he said you're from Lalata in Erua. I was confused a little bit, I can see the Chivlai Bale in there. So you brought Erua and Lalata, together. Well, you have your work cut out for you already. As the youngest member of the cabinet, because you're the youngest, we'll be bossing you around. But we hope to see you bring the vibrancy and the drive of our young people, the drive that they are known for, we look forward to you bringing that to the table. I know we had quite a bit of issues surrounding your appointment. People came to me and said, actually I was reading on social media another individual, being projected as the nominee. I'm not saying that individual does not have anything to contribute to your state, but perhaps not as a commissioner for youth and sport. So by your appointment, we have fulfilled our promise of having 4 women commissioners in Oyo State Executive Council. Remember, we had 2 under Omituntun 1.0. So I think for our women folks, 2.0 is a movement in the right direction. Well, there are other promises to be kept under the Ministry of Youth and Sports. As I said earlier, it is important that all members of the cabinet read our roadmap. We have a very young population in this state, and harnessing their potential is key to our socio-economic development. Well, a lot of people would like to shade me for this, but I watched the 19-year-old Coco Gauff make history last weekend at the US Open. So what stopped Oyo State from producing our own Coco Gauff? And let me say to the people that because I'm the governor doesn't mean that I don't have a life. I do have a life. And I've been watching US Open almost as a family tradition from 2011, 2012. That was almost 8 years before I came into this office. And of course, I do read social media as well. Somebody said, so what did I I read comments, that people put in there. Somebody said, so what news did I try to pass to people by posting on my social media handle that I watched the US Open? Well, my social media handle is not CNN or channels TV. It's social media, so it is mine. I can post whatever I like in there. And people can post whatever they like on their own social media handle as well. If you're looking for news, go to CNN. And I'll continue to do things that makes me happy as an individual. We have the Lake and Salami Sports Complex, Adamasimba. We have completed the remodeling of Phase 1, which is the stadium. And there's also a tennis court in there, a tennis court that will host a world-class tennis championship. So maintaining that facility should be a priority. We also want to complete the second phase of that project, which will provide facilities for other sports, such as tennis, badminton, swimming, and so on. So it is your job to push for its completion. And one thing that I also think you should make a top priority, the Oyo State athletes that did well at the last National Sports Festival. We promised to motivate them. We promised to pay them some money. And good that the Honorable Commissioner for Finance is here. I believe the next ESCO is going to be on the 2nd or 3rd of October, the first Tuesday in October, because next week, actually this weekend, I'm on the entourage of the President to the UN General Assembly. So we won't have ESCO next week, but we'll have ESCO the week after. I hope that you'll be able to report to us that that payment has been made in between you and the Commissioner for Finance. Also, please do not focus all your energy on sports. There's the youth development aspect of your ministry as well. Under youth empowerment, you should go through the roadmap, find the point of intersection between your ministry and other ministry, and approach them for collaboration. Our promises here are mostly focused on tech and education. So I want to see more collaboration like we had this weekend, where we supported the Ibadan Tech Expo. And I also look forward to seeing your strategy for getting a tuition-free university education for youths who have excelled in sports. Of course, we're here to offer you, all the help you may need. We know it's a lot of work that has to be done, and I also know that just like me, I don't think this is a path you've walked before, and don't be afraid. Make your mistakes. Yes, we will forgive you, for making mistakes. But I won't forgive you for not taking action at all. So let me formally welcome the two of you. our new Commissioner for Health, Dr. Ajetunmobi, and Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Ms. Adegoke, to the Oyo State Executive Council. I look forward to working with you to the glory of God and for the benefit of the good people of Oyo State. Thank you and God bless you.